Again, welcome to Research Methods in Computers and Society, CS 312. In these lectures, we're going to discuss about chapter 3 of our course textbook, which we are going to cover this week. Again, the chapter topic is researching and writing the literature review. Again, this is our Unit 3 lectures. So our main objective here is to describe the purpose of literature review, also learn about using libraries and other online database as resources, and also creating annotated bibliography. This is again one of the assignments we are going to do, and also examine different ways of organizing a literature review, discuss how to think critically and also analyze studies, identify the correct placement of study hypotheses, create a shortened version of literature review, also compare and contrast a system review of literature and also literature review. So we start with the definition of a literature review. And here we said a literature review is the process by which you become familiar with the entire body of research, which is constantly changing and also improving on a particular topic. So example, in this our course, or even writing a scholarly paper, we always have to base our topic on maybe a previous research which has been done. Literature review helps us again to find works that has been done already that is related to our topic. And almost in any special thesis, dissertation, we always have a literature review chapter. So a literature review again is a process by which you become familiar with the entire body of research on a particular topic. And also the purpose of it is to defend your proposed project by grounding it in a scientific literature. Now, in order to construct a literature review, you need to spend time to critically read the literature and take notes. And I'll say this is one of the time-consuming steps in a research process. Because in literature, not only reading and taking notes, but you also have to search for them. Nowadays, again, we have online library, online resources. So again, we need to do, again, research and look for these literatures. Now, on the process also, we can accumulate arguments supporting or criticizing the studies. That's the previous work that has been done and is, again, related to our topic of research. So we can, again, criticize some of the previous studies. Again, that's the main, again, that can be one of the reasons why, again, we are doing our research. Also, organizing the studies by relevant studying details. The example would be the time when the study was carried out, especially in the field of IT, that's information technology or computer science. Time is very relevant because, again, technology is almost improving every year. There's new technology coming out. So even when you get enough articles for your literature review, one of the main things you have to look at is the time the paper was published or the time the research was done. It's very relevant. We also need to explore the literature. Here they say it's very critical to know what others have researched so that we can formulate an original research project. So searching the literature also can help us formulate our question and also consider new and unexplored ideas. This happens at most of the time. For example, I want to again do a research. I have the idea of the topic, but I don't have the research question very well, or maybe having formulated the research question or even the title of the research. just by going through a literature review that is related to the subject or the topic that I want to research, I can be able to come up with the topic of my article or research, and also to come up with the questions, the hypotheses, based on, again, previous work that has been done. Also, exploring the literature, here there are some few examples of nuts and bolts. First, now, again, most schools have an online library, but here the advice is, again, start with a visit to your school library. Either it can be online library. Access the library database systems, because most schools online in our Pace University, again, there's a lot of online databases based on your professional field. Example, we have business major, psychology, social major. Every professional field most likely have a professional organization. And this organization sometimes may allow researchers to publish their papers. Like in computer science, we have the ACM, Computing Machinery, American Computing Machinery, or IEEE. Most computer science engineering majors publish their paper in these professional journals. So most of the time in the schools, again, there's a lot of database in the library system. So these are some of the common databases. Again, it can be more than this, but these are some of the common library database online. So we have the first one, again, they have digitized journals and books. PubMed is very good if you are in the field of medicine or even biotechnology or bioinformatics. PubMed have a lot of articles. So even if you are doing computer science, but related to solving biological problems, especially like data mining, machine learning, the concept of using data mining or machine learning in solving biological problems or analyze biological data is called a bioinformatics. And there are so many, PubMed has so many articles. Also, the next one for education and also education-related topics, that is Department of Education, ERIC or ERIC. And also we have PsycInfo, useful for topics related to psychology. So American Psychological Association. And again, the same thing, we have the American Statistic Association, IT. There are so many, again, professional organizations. Again, it depends on your field of studies. Also, the search engines. This is one of the common search engines that many schools have online. UBS, CO Host, or ProQuest. Even you can find dissertations, many dissertations that has been published online in this database also. Google Scholar also is good, but I don't use Google Scholar too much. The main reason is that you can get a nice article from Google Scholar, but maybe you have to pay for it. You have to subscribe for it. So I always focus on using, since you are associated with an institution, a university, as a faculty member or a student, it's better to use the school library system, the database system they have. But there are some Google Scholars also can give you some articles that is open source or is free. You can access it for free. So here, this also we can use advanced search rather than quick search. For example, if you have taken a database class already, or you have the concept of Boolean operators, and or and not. These are some of the Boolean operators I can use. So let's say I want to search an article for apple or orange. I don't need both of them. It can be either apple or orange. So I can use the or operator. Now, if I want to search an article that is related to both apple and orange, then I'll say apple and orange. or I want to search for an article that is related to anything, but I don't want Apple, then I'll use not Apple. So I may guess. So these are the Boolean operators that we can also use to make our searching more efficient, get efficient hints or results. Also, we can use the quotation marks, which is very good. Like for example, here, body image, I put it in quotation. So here they say when you want two or more keywords to work as a phrase, you can put them in quotation marks. So I need something like body image together. Now you put body and image without a quotation mark, you can get an hints for only body and hints for only image or for both of them. But when you put it in double quotation, it will give you only result for body image. Also, we can use an asterisk to search for words that start with similar. In databases, then we use the asterisk. This asterisk means a wildcard. So, for example, if I need any article or something that starts with C, let's say I need even a name that starts with C. So I can just say C asterisk. C asterisk means I can have as only thing is the first character is C. I can have as many characters as I want. So Charles will come, Clinton will come. We hit because it's C. Like here, for example, we have child and asterisk. So any word that starts with child, the rest, like children or childless, etc., which will give you the results. So asterisk means any character and any amount of character. We also have a question mark. Question mark can be any character, but it's a exact character. So if I want children, then I need 3 more characters. So I can put 3 question mark here, which means only children will come. Childless will not come because less is 4 characters. But I put 3 question marks, so 3 characters. It can be any character, but the amount of the character is the amount of question marks you have. Asterisk means it can be any character, it can be any amount of characters. So these are some of the techniques of, again, try to search an item online using any search engines such as Google or Yahoo or any search engine. So other resources also here, they say interlibrary loan. It's a means by which you can request an article not available in your library. This is normally done by the librarian. So maybe I may go to a library, I need some article, I check out the school database system, the hard copies in the library, they don't have it. So I may request it again to be, so the librarian may fill out the form or something and he or she may request it for you. And also there are some database systems that in some schools join together. For example, let's say in CUNY, we have Brooklyn College, Staten Island College, City College. These 3 or 4 more colleges can basically work together. That means their online resources in their library is connected together. So I can look for a book. I'm a student at one college, but I'm looking for a book at a different college because maybe my school don't have it. So when I have it again, I can request for it. Now this is one of the first thing we are going to do in our research paper assignment. So first we will start with annotated bibliographics. This is where, again, we are going to do our literature review. So you get the literature review. We're going to use the APA format. So there's a way that we format it. Again, we'll give the instruction in class. But the whole concept of annotated bibliographics is, again, having your literature review. You may have the name, the year it was published, the author, and the title of the, then you may just give 1 sentence summary what the whole paper is about, or even 1 paragraph. This is just taking a note. Because one thing is that, for example, you are writing a paper, let's say even a dissertation or master's thesis, whereby you may even have over 100 references. The best way to keep this organized is maybe have an annotated bibliography. I read the first one, I write down the one paragraph or so, the main point. I have the article, I will use APA format, again, depends on the school. In our school, we are using APA format. If it's MLA, you use the MLA format. So here they say if we are doing this, it's very important to read as many articles as possible on the research topic. Reading the peer review literature can be challenging because read slowly and thoroughly. You want to understand the content, not just grasp through the article. Now remember, the quality is more important than the quantity when reading. So annotated bibliography is a summary of an article or a book. So in our assignment, if I have 20 literature review, I may summarize all the 20 articles in one paper, annotated bibliography. So these are the steps. Step one, we should start with the article title, the author name, the journal name, volume number, issue number, digital object identifier. Most articles online, professional scholarly papers always have DOI. Even when you publish your paper, the publishers or the journal editors, the organization, they will surely assign the DOI to your article. So we always have it in our references. And also the page numbers. In this case, we are going to use the APA format. So the APA format teaches how to again write this down. So that's the first step. Now, second step, the study that what is focused on the aim. Again, you don't go detailed. You just want to even write only one paragraph or not more than one paragraph, I would say, few sentences to summarize the whole article. Maybe this article will be 6 pages, but now you want to use only 1 or 2 paragraphs to summarize everything. So you just have to take a note on the focus, the aims of the paper, the theory that was applied, or the framework, the study design, what type of studies, the number of people who participated, population breakdown, study results, main discussion points, notes, and also impressions, including quotes, etc. Then we need to organize our reading using the table format. So maybe you may have column 1, start with the identification number for each study. This is what you can generate yourself. Then the author's name, column 2, study, year, that's the article, the study location, the theory, implementation, and also the study funding if the information is available. Then you had as many columns as you needed. For example, I may have a column for the methodology, the summary, etc., whatever you feel. So next is the conceptual graph. Here they say we should refer back to our graph of constructs and variables to see if we need to make any adjustment. Now, searching the literature can show you unexplored threads, the variables that you are missing, or maybe a new perspective on the topics or on the variables. We discussed about the variables in our previous lectures. If we are doing let's say we are doing quantitative correlation testing studies, we may have independent and dependent variables. The variables have to be quantitative, etc. Now, tips for organizing your work. Again, this is just a tips. It's not correct and it's not wrong. So here you organize your literature logically. Now consider how you will explain your literature and argument to someone with little knowledge of the topic. And also you should consider writing for people who are knowledgeable about the topic using the depth and logical argument. And also we should consider what makes your topic difficult to investigate. And the last, we should recognize our own assumptions. Also, organize the literature is as simple as organize a sock drawer. As I said, again, literature review is a very, very consuming, time-consuming process. You are reading so many articles, so you have to know how to organize it. Using the annotated bibliography is the best way to organize, I would say, to organize your literature review. So also organize the literature based on similar or different patterns that became visible as you look at previous studies. Maybe the author said A, author B, and another author said B, C, D. Have 3 A's, I'll organize them together. 3 B's result, I'll organize them together. So again, depends on the outcome of the literature. Also, we should be very critical. So you should read critically. Research again is about having a critical skills. Here you are going to make a lot of decisions, so you need to be very critical with your decisions. Also be very active, not passive reader. So passive reader will be somebody just glancing through the paper without asking himself question, why this, why that. So active reader is somebody read by kind of asking questions about what he's reading and trying to answer if it's possible or get more references to answer. So yeah, we say active readers are reading and thinking and considering the information they are reading. May agree or disagree with what they are reading. Most important, evaluate the study and check for different perspectives. So ask yourself questions, try to answer it, find other ways if possible. And also to analyze your studies, first look at the concept, the theories, and the perspectives used by the researchers. Again, here we are talking about the literature reviews. Then second, ask yourself what assumption they made and whether the authors consider other perspectives. And third, look at the methodologies employed. So write down the details so that you can remember them. Also, make sure you identify the gaps and find the niches for your research. Hypothesis also, we should always include it at the end of our literature review. So you can have the claim and also the null hypothesis to go against the claim. So a literature review will show you where there's a disagreement in the literature, and you can confirm how to construct your hypothesis. Maybe literature review can even show me where the previous result is, and that can be my null hypothesis. Then now I'm going to do a research to see if I'm going to test the claim, the previous work that was done, the claim, if the result is still as it is based on the sample that I collected. Also, systematic review, very important. Research process against a systematic scientific process. So, systematic review, which are scientific studies themselves, are different from literature review. So, systematic review have no agenda, but focus on synthesizing all the literatures on one topic. So systematic review and literature review, the key difference is the focus is different. Literature review will provide justification for our studies. And that's why most papers always have a literature review, articles, scholarly papers, especially if you are doing thesis, dissertation, a literature review should be a chapter by itself, because this is the chapter that will justify your studies. But a systematic review will normally summarize all the evidence in an area. We have the selection bias can be reduced with the literature review, why inclusive of a range of articles can be biased based on how a researcher selected study for inclusion. But with systematic review also follow guidelines to minimize selection bias and are explicit about how studies were selected also. Bias is selection bias is something we always need to look at from previous works researchers may make. So rigorous steps and procedures. Literature review also will assess articles for inclusion conclusion in a systematic way through the process is often not tracked and also recorded. But with systematic review access articles for inclusion using again a rigorous methodology. An assessment and analysis of studies, literature review normally will provide some summary of conclusion from various studies, while systematic review will collect all the methodologies, conclusions, and discussions of all the study and provide summaries. We also have the mental analysis with the systematic review, which here we say they are very similar to each other, but the difference is that meta-analysis normally statistically will recalculate the data from the original study, pulling the findings together. So again, this will be our conclusion for chapter 3 of our course. And again, the topic for chapter 3, which is a unit 3 lectures, is again researching and writing a literature review. In conclusion, I would say a literature review, as we said earlier, is very, very important step in the research process, because sometimes even the literature review can help us formulate or redefine our research process, even research questions, or even we can come up with our hypothesis just from literature review. And also to justify our research topic. So again, wish everybody the best and thank you for your time.